Good morning and welcome to our kitchen. I'm Gordy Galusha.
I'm Nancy Ostrich.
Today we're going to be making a meatless quiche and butter pecan squares, and we're going to start off with Nancy.
Okay, thank you, Gordy. We are taping this show, it is almost Lent, so I was looking for meatless recipes and found a quiche that looked good if you like mushrooms. It's happened to indicate that you could use any other vegetables, maybe broccoli or cauliflower or whatever, in place of mushrooms if you weren't a mushroom fan. So I'm going to start out. I have a 9-inch pie plate, and I've put in my pie crust. You can use, if you love to make your own pie crust, you may.
Good luck.
I prefer to buy the frozen ones, and they always come out fine for me, but I don't make too many pies. But anyways, it's all set in the 9-inch pie plate. And I'm going to start by sauteing about 1/3 of a cup of chopped onion. And I'm glad people around here like onion, because if you do it ahead of time and put it in a closed container to bring it to the show, the aroma is outstanding when you
Open it up.
Open it up.
Gee, you know it.
So, while I am doing this, while I am sauteing and cooking down these onions, I'll turn it back over to Gordy to do her dessert.
Okay, today I'm going to make butter pecan squares. In my bowl, I have a box of yellow cake mix and 3 eggs and a 1/2 cup of butter softened and 2 cups of pecans. And I'm going to mix it up. Hopefully it'll mix up. Yike. Sometimes it's hard to get this all mixed up the first time, but excuse me, you have to keep going until you get it done. Speed it up a bit. I can smell onions in this, I can smell your onions in here.
Oh, gee, that's not good. That's not good.
Okay. This is all mixed up good. It's supposed to be crumbly like this. And I'm going to pat it into a greased 9x13 pan. This is how it looks when you get it all patted down. Kind of make sure that it's even. Okay. Now I'm going to add the rest of the ingredients. Which is 1/8 ounce package of cream cheese, softened, and 3½ cups of powdered sugar, and the rest of the eggs. There's 2 eggs in here that I'm going to mix up. Anytime I work with confectionery sugar in my house or here, I have a white kitchen.
Yeah.
I have confectionery sugar everywhere. Make sure that it's nice and smooth before you turn it onto your pecan layer. This looks pretty good. Whoops. Whoa, Bessie. Whoa, there we go. I'm going to turn this on top of my pecan layer. Mix it up a little bit more.
Oh, that looks good enough to eat like it is.
Oh, I like this. I like this topping.
Yeah.
It's good. Excuse me while I bang this on here to get this off. Gonna spread this all over the top. Make sure it's even and the cracks are all filled up. Oh, this is coming apart. Oh well. Okay. This is what it looks like before you put it into a 350-degree oven between 45 and 50 minutes. And check it every once in a while. Make sure that it's starting to get brown on top. And then you can take it out and cool it for a little while, and then you can cut it into delicious squares for, look at that, I got all over. Delicious squares to eat for your party or whatever you're going to make them for.
Okay.
I'm going to turn it over to Nancy.
Thank you. I finished sauteing my chopped onions, and you put them in a small bowl and set them aside to cool. Next thing you're going to do in your fry pan, and I added a little more shortening to margarine to the fry pan because I'm going to saute 8 ounces of sliced mushrooms. I am using Baby Bell mushrooms. The recipe called for shiitakes. Well, When I went to buy the shiitakes, I found that they cost a little bit more than I was willing to pay for mushrooms. So looking at the choices there, the color of the shiitake, and noticed that the baby bells looked a lot like the shiitake. I've never used a lot of different kinds. The last recipe I did on the show was with creminis, and I liked them. So according to price here, I bought baby bells. And I don't see a problem in substituting whatever you fancy. These are going to be sauteed down like the onions. And while that is happening, I will continue in a separate bowl. I want 4 eggs. Okay. I'm going to start whisking them. And to the eggs, I'm going to add 2 cups of light cream. I keep half and half on hand all the time, so that's what I'm going to use. Some salt and pepper to taste. It called for white pepper. I don't keep white pepper on hand, so I'm going to use a little black pepper. And to top it off, a little nutmeg. It only says 1/8 of a teaspoon. Okay. Now the mushrooms are cooking down. I would like them cooked down a little bit more, so I'm just going to stop at this time, and we'll resume when the mushrooms are cooked down to what I... So we're going to break just for a minute or so. Okay, I've cooked these down to what I feel I want to continue with the quiche. I'm going to line the bottom of my pie shell with the sauteed mushrooms, and because there's juice in the fry pan from the mushrooms, I'm going to use a slotted spoon. If you were doing this recipe any other time and you wanted to make it not meatless, you could crumble up some bacon or ham and put it in with everything. Okay. Next layer is 4 ounces of Swiss cheese, which I have diced up. I usually have sliced Swiss cheese, and when recipe calls for shredded or diced, I'll just cut the slices of Swiss cheese up very small. So that is sprinkled over the mushrooms. Okay. Now the egg mixture, 4 eggs, 2 cups of light cream, salt and pepper to taste, some nutmeg. I'm going to add the onions that I cooked earlier. And this is going to get poured over the mushroom and cheese. Yeah. This will go into a 350 or 375 degree oven, depending on if you're cooking something else. 350, which I'm going to put it in, will take a little longer, looking at about 35 minutes. But before you would take it out, you would check it with a knife in the center and see whether the egg mixture has cooked. So I'm going to put that right now for 35 minutes, and then we will check it when it gets to be that time. Now, this is show number 221. I don't think we mentioned it in the beginning. And when we come back, unfortunately, we did some easy recipes today because both of us all of a sudden ended up with sprained wrist or a couple of things that we decided we needed something easy to do. So when we come back, we'll be at our table. Welcome back to our table. Today, since we are taping around the beginning of Lent, I found a recipe for a meatless quiche that looked pretty good, and this is it right here. It uses vegetables, of course, as the filling along with your eggs, particularly mushrooms this time, but it could be, you could use broccoli or another vegetable of your choice. And it was pretty simple to put together. Of course, you need your pie crust, and it's your choice on how you get it, whether you make your own that you love or you buy a frozen one. The filling is just a matter of sauteing some onions first, setting that aside, and then sauteing the mushrooms of your choice. The recipe called for shiitakes, which I found tend to be a little expensive, so I substituted for baby Bella mushrooms that looked quite alike the shiitakes. And then they're sauteed down, and the bottom of the pie crust, you first of all sprinkle the mushrooms, cooked, sauteed, and some chopped diced Swiss cheese. And then in a separate bowl, you mix together or whisk together 4 eggs and a light cream, and I use half and half, salt and pepper to taste, and a little nutmeg. And then you add those cooked onions to the egg mixture. That is poured over the cheese and mushrooms and baked in the oven for about 35 minutes till you put your knife in to see if it's cooked through at a 375-degree oven. So that's the main course. And Gordy, what's your dessert?
Today I made butter pecan squares. To start off with, you have to have a box of yellow cake mix and 3 eggs and a half a cup of softened butter. You mix it up with 2 cups of pecans, and you mix it all up, and then when it's all done, you pat it into the bottom of a 9x13 pan, and then you take 1 8-ounce package of cream cheese softened, 3.5 cups of powdered sugar, and 2 of the eggs, and mix it all up for a white filling on top of the crust. And this is what it looks like when it comes out. Make sure you keep checking it to make sure it doesn't burn, but this is what it's supposed to look like when it comes out of the oven. And they are delicious. Try them. If you'd like any of these recipes, please send a self-addressed stamped envelope to
Dalton Community Cable.
to Dalton Community Cable, 151 Park Avenue, Dalton, Mass. 01226.
After
dear.
all these times.
After all this, how many years have we been doing this, and I can't remember where I am. Well, anyway, have a great day from
our kitchen.
From our kitchen to your home. Thank you very much. Bye now. Have a great day.